So Dubai's coastline is about 45 miles long, 75 kilometers. Most of it is either not up for sale or already sold out, launched, people living in there. Only about 7% of the total coastline is still up for future grabs. Hence, the rarest commodity of Dubai's real estate market is seafront residences. And this right here, where I'm standing right now, is perhaps the jewel of the crown. This is Emaar Rashid Yachts and Marina, the only second seafront community by Emaar, first one being Emaar Beachfront, which is already pretty much done and dusted, sold out. A rarest combination of seafront living, just 15 minutes from the city center in downtown Burj Khalifa. This is as good as it theoretically gets in Dubai's real estate market. So if you are an investor looking to invest, competing against thousands and thousands of units in the supply going to be delivered over the next few years, perhaps this would be your safest bet. And here in Rashid Yachts and Marina, we're now on to one of the last launches of the phase 2, which is going to be Vida Residences by Emaar. So why did this launch particularly merit a video? The reason is numbers, supply and demand. See, in the future, only about 7% of the total coastline I've just mentioned is going to be developed. That's the only remaining part of the coastline or the seafront which will be available for future developments. So you have a clear supply and demand imbalance. And one indication of that is in most of Emaar's communities, you tend to have about 4, 5, 6 launches every year. But here in Rashid Yachts and Marina, last year there were only 3 launches. 2 launches in fact, 3 buildings, 3 projects. And this launch, this Vida launch is coming after a gap of about 7 months. The last launch was done last year. So this community keeps on getting far more number of inquiries than we have inventory available to sell. So there is a clear imbalance in terms of supply and demand, which makes it a very, very solid long-term asset to have. See, if you are an investor and if you are investing in the market today, you're potentially up against thousands and thousands of units that are in circulation already or are going to be in circulation. But when you talk about seafront residences, that's when your product becomes a rare investment to keep, and it's going to obviously increase in value over time as well. This is what I've been saying since 2.5 years now on this channel. In 2023, I made a video about Maritime City that you can see in the distance over there, and I said the same, the rarity of seafront residences or waterfront residences. Last year in 2024, I made a similar video as well, and today we are in July 2025, I maintain the same. This happens to be one of the safest bets you can make as an investor. So this Vida launch here is going to be the first branded project in Rashid Yachts and Marina. It also happens to be the first ever Vida which will be seafront. The only other waterfront Vida that comes to mind is perhaps Vida and Marina, but that's a separate segment of the market a little bit. So you've got pretty much all the fundamentals in line. You've got a top tier seafront location close to downtown. You've got the top developer of the country making its master community, perhaps one of the most sought after locations in the city right now. And you've got a top brand as well in Vida that is going to come over here. And when we discuss price in just a moment, you will understand it better. So I don't want to absorb too much time in this video talking about the highlights of the community, because you've probably heard it from all sorts of other places as well. And you already know that Emaar is known to make top tier trademark communities. So there's no point in talking about the 500-meter pool canal in which you can swim, or the 14,000 square feet of retail and entertainment spaces that you get in this community. I want to talk about numbers. I want to talk about fundamentals. And in terms of fundamentals, pricing obviously is the most important bit. The prices for this launch are going to be starting at 2.1 million. So the one bedrooms, but the one bedrooms in this entire community are usually almost always facing backwards, they're not sea facing. If you want to buy a one bedroom seafront location, perhaps the Maritime City over there is going to be a little bit of a better investment for you. But if you're talking about a 2 bedroom or a 3 bed, and you want to have a seafront community, then nothing much better than Emaar's Rashid Yachts and Marina. So the 2 bedrooms here, which I think are perhaps the best bet to make in the long term, are going to be around 4.6 million, and then you've got like 3 beds and some 4 bedrooms as well. The per square foot prices are expected to be around 3,700 square feet. We don't know exactly as of now when we're making this video, but I believe that this building, because it looks, feels very similar to one of the launches which was done last year, which was called Marina Views, it's going to be very similar to that. If you look at the facade of this building and compare it to Marina Views, or the fact that both of these are going to be some of the only mid-rise buildings, G+16, G+20 in this community, you would notice quite a lot of similarity. So I'm guessing that the sizes and layouts are going to be similar to that. So for example, a seafront middle unit in Marina Views was about 1280 square feet. Starting at 4.6 billion, obviously that's the starting mark. You would be looking at around 4.7, 4.8 odd million for a good, decent average unit. This is your pricing. We're talking about 3,600 to 3,700 dirhams per square foot, less than $1,000 for a location like this. It's nowhere to be seen. There's a location called in Egypt, for example, called Marasi Marina, which is perhaps one of the most beautiful establishments from what I've seen on the northern coast in Egypt, built by Emaar, wonderfully done, amazingly done. So if you are someone from Egypt looking at this video and you want to understand how this entire establishment is projected to be delivered, have a look at what Emaar has done with Marasi Marina in Egypt. So what do we have? We have a top tier developer making a master community on the seafront, and the location is also just 15 minutes away from downtown, 15 to 17 minutes away from downtown. In terms of location, by the way, in terms of connectivity of this area, the government has, the RTA, the Roads and Transportation Authority here, has a project called the Singhara Corridor. It's about a $13 billion project, and part of it has to do with enhancing the connectivity of this parcel of land as well, which has already been done. So that sort of gives you an idea about how much the government is also focused on this part and what sort of premiumness this location holds. Again, this is not an investment for a quick flip. This is something you would want to have in your portfolio for the next coming 4, 5, 6, 7 years, when this area starts taking shape, when the maritime city in the distance over there starts taking shape in another 4 or 5 years. That's when, in about 4 to 5 years time, is where the optimal exit points of this area are going to be found. In most parts of the world, having something like this for $1,000 per square foot is definitely a good buy, let alone in a city like Dubai, which is attracting millionaires from all around the world, which is a city which is continuously looking up, which is on an unprecedented path of growth. If you are an investor, again, who understands the market, would like to discuss the fundamentals objectively and not make an emotional rushed decision, I would love to hear from you, and I would love to bring you here to show you what's being already done. By the way, the first few buildings are about to be handed over. Actually, some of these buildings are in the process of getting handed over. So yeah, if you are someone who is interested in this area, if you are someone who has the foresight for it, get in touch, and I would love to assist you in getting the right unit. Even in this location, by the way, it's as important as always to go for the right unit, not just buy anything and everything. So reach out, give me a call or a WhatsApp, and I would love to present this area to you in more detail and discuss numbers and fundamentals at more length as well. Thank you.